Hola, hola. Buenos dias. Today, Monday. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Juan Catamayo, JCT for Education for you. And today we're going live. We're actually flying virtual plane to Cali, Colombia. We have an incredible guest coming. And before I invite her over, remember you can find our videos on our YouTube channel, JCT for Education. So without further ado, let's invite our friend and student.
Colombia. Ta, 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 ta. Vamos, vamos. Internet work, data work. Wanna
Hi,
say hello.
Juanca.
Hola, Gabriela, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
¿Cómo está todo por allá?
Súper bien, todo
O-
súper.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, so everyone, we have Gabriela De Oliveira from Cali, Colombia. She's a student at Colegio Bolívar. Un abrazo para todos los estudiantes y amigos del Colegio Bolívar, all the parents, teachers, counselors. We are very proud to have Gabi on our segment of conversations. So first and foremost, how are you and how is your family?
Everything's really good. We're all healthy. We're all safe at home. Everything's fine. How about
Everything is
you?
Oh, well, at home, we haven't moved anywhere. Actually, we've been doing social distancing little by little, date 90. So we're almost 3 months without, I haven't seen my colleagues from work in 3 months. And what about you guys? Still at home?
Yeah, we're still at home, but
Okay,
I guess that's what we have to do.
already. So you have a lot of people watching today. We have Angelita from Life Miami. We have here Angelita. Tomorrow I'll be wearing your beautiful hat from Life Miami. But first and foremost, there is a topic that is very close to my heart. I was very impressed when you mentioned that to me, and we will create some awareness today. So tell us about what is La Colmena.
Okay, so La Colmena is a project I started a few months ago with a couple of friends, and it basically began one day because my brother, he was playing in the garden, my younger brother, and he got stung by a bee. And
Hmm.
he started crying and he started saying, I hate bees, I hate bees. And I told him, well, did you know that bees are actually really important? But at the time, I didn't know much about it. And then we started researching because he told me he wanted to know more. He is a really curious boy. And I was genuinely shocked by the fact that bees are crucially important animals and that I really didn't know about it. I was really ignorant of it. So I started researching even more and I realized that bees have actually been declared the most important animal in the planet. And this is because 80% of world's agriculture depends on bee pollination. And bees pollinate a third of what we eat. So they play a vital role in sustaining the ecosystems on Earth. So
Okay.
I was really excited to learn about this. But then I think that what really impacted me was when I realized that they have been put into the endangered species list. And this is
Yes.
because in the past years, their population has declined drastically, like a 90%, if I'm not wrong. And this is due to pesticide spraying, mega farming, invest monocultures, climate change, deforestation, and loss of habitat. And recently, the increase in predators like killer hornets. I think maybe people from the US might have heard of this. So bees have been, well, this is a really big issue. And I started talking about this with my friends in school. And
Hmm.
I remember that my chemistry teacher, he overheard our conversation and he told us that his wife had been working with bees. So he
Okay.
passed us her contact and we ended up calling her. And she invited us to Agrosavia, which is a research institute in Palmira, which is a city nearby
Hmm.
Cali. It's recognized for being like this developing agricultural industry. Like it's really known for its agriculture. So we ended up going there, and we spent a whole afternoon just talking to her, asking questions about bees. But I think that the most important thing of that visit was when we actually went into the apiary. That's like where they have the bees. And I remember that they opened up the box and just thousands of bees just came flying out of the box and started swarming all around us. And that was simply amazing. I can't describe it. And that was how La Colmena was born, because in that moment I said, well, we have to take action, we have to do something. So that was how La Colmena began. And
Mhm.
it's basically a project that is split into three different branches. The
Okay.
first branch talks about spreading awareness about the importance of bees. The second branch is about supporting our local beekeepers. And the third branch talks about informing farmers of the benefits of having bees and how the pollination can benefit their crops and whatever, or the fruits that they have been producing. So
So
going into more detail into like what we've been doing right now, if you want to know,
so
is
let me stop there because there is a lot of
okay.
material to cover here. So first and foremost, what year are you in, or what year are you moving into?
I'm currently finishing 10th grade. I finish school this Friday.
Okay. So this coming Friday, you're done.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long you're gonna be on vacation?
About 2 months. I think we're
Two
gonna
months.
go back to school in August. Yeah.
So the first thing that I want to ask you, because a lot of students are watching right now, you'd be amazed. I have seen Rafa Joki. He's just joined in. He's a senior here in Miami.
Hmm.
How can you do community service from home? That's the biggest question that a lot of students are asking. And I see your Instagram account for La Colmena. Can you repeat the handle so students can follow your Instagram account,
Yeah.
La Colmena?
It's called lacolmena.co. And if you go
Mhm.
into, well, my account, it's in my bio, so you just can click on it and take a look at it.
Okay. So
Hmm.
so I see that you're being very active, and almost every day you're posting a picture.
Yeah.
Who is telling you this? Is it your own instinct, or you have somebody coaching you on this?
Well, this is actually something that I began with some friends. It's really something that we haven't been like really guided by anyone else other than my grandfather. He likes to he really likes agriculture and bees and everything, so he's kind of been like a mentor for us. But in terms of the Instagram and everything, I think that we realized that we had to start posting stuff daily when we determined that we wanted to inform people about
Hmm.
the importance of bees and to change the common mentality that many people have of that they believe that bees are extremely dangerous animals and they're really aggressive, which is actually a misconception.
Yes.
So when we started addressing that problem, we said, okay, how are we going to change this? How are we going to do an impact? So we said, well, Instagram, there's a lot of people on Instagram, and I think it's a great resource and a great tool to reach out to people and to share their message. So every day we research interesting facts about bees. We post about why they're important, what you can do in your daily lives to support the bees, and we just document our process and everything that we've been doing.
Well, I will tell you that once you told me that bees are in danger, and that actually you told me, and you can quote the person who said this, but without bees, our civilization, our human civilization will disappear within 4 years. Can you
Yeah.
expand on that thought, please?
Well, I think that thought reflects how truly important these bees are and how we have to do something about it because we're dependent of them for many things and many people aren't really aware of it. You see, as I previously said, 80% of the world's agriculture depends on bees. If there weren't bees, the agricultural industry would just simply collapse. And
Hmm.
that's, well, a really big problem. So I think that the quote that you just said reflects the message and the meaning and the true importance of bees. So yeah, I think that's
Gabby, and this is one of the reasons you're here. We have had 53 live conversations right now, and we had a scientist here, actually, the vice provost from University of Miami. We had BU, we had Northeastern, we had a lot of universities, we had students, but as students, you are our future. You're the future generation. You guys are the ones that are gonna save our planet. And our community service is to have guests like you on our program so you can talk about that community service that you're doing. So now you will be graduating in 2 years from
right.
high school, and I know your brain never stops thinking. You always want to do things like that. And so you were mentioning that the La Colmena has three stages, three areas. So let's just
Yeah.
start going one by one. Go ahead.
Okay. So the first branch, or like the first focus, is about what I said about spreading awareness of the importance of bee and try to change that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that we're trying to address this problem was first with our Instagram, and second, we want to build our own apiary. We want to have our own bees, and
Okay.
we have been actually working on that in this time that we've been in quarantine. My grandfather, he really likes to build boxes, and he has all of the tools and everything to do it. So we have been working on our boxes. And the purpose of that is to create an apiary where people can go and they can have like contact with the bees and see how amazing these creatures are and how incredible they are. And all of this with the purpose to make them realize how we really need to take action, because one thing is to read about it in Instagram and the other thing is actually like living it and experiencing it. So that is what we're thinking for the first part of the project. For the
Okay.
second part of the project, we want to support our local beekeepers because we want to be like the bridge or the link between beekeepers who have been producing honey, good quality honey, and at affordable prices for many, many years, and the consumers of honey that often don't know that this quality of honey like exists or don't know how to access it. So that's like what we're thinking for that part. And for the third part, you see, pollination is this really important part of ecosystems of the world, of everything. And especially in the US, we can see that bee pollination adds approximately $14 billion annually to improve crop yield and quality of crops and everything in the US.
Okay.
So I think that many people here in Colombia aren't really aware of this. So if we speak with farmers and we inform them about how having bees can benefit their businesses, I think that they would adopt, like they would build their own apiaries or have their own bees. And this could be kind of a win-win situation because we are supporting bees, like people are recognizing their value, and at the same time, well, farmers are benefiting from having them there because
Mm-hmm.
having bees and pollination increases both quality and quantity of like production of whatever crops or fruits that they're growing.
Of course. Now, your grandpa is teaching you guys how to build an apiary. How long does it take?
Well, building the actual boxes is a lot of
Yeah.
work because
Okay.
bees are really delicate animals, so you can't
Yeah.
use like a certain specific type of glue. You have to be really careful, like with the measurements, you have to be really exact. So it takes a lot of time. Actually, today's post is going to be about that. And so he's been helping us out with that, and that's like our next step. But then the other thing is actually getting the bees and putting them inside the boxes and making sure that where we put them, they like that location and that they have flowers available.
Yes.
It's a pretty complex thing, but we're trying to do it. So yeah.
So I have a very ignorant question. So you know, in Colombia and Latin America, there is a lot of land and a lot of families they own lands. Would you recommend families to start putting some boxes in each of their properties? And how would that affect safety for children and so forth? Because I have an idea. Can we tell friends, hey, you need to build one box? And how many bees can be housed in one box, and what's the maintenance? Tell us a little bit about that. This is fascinating.
Okay. So in one box of bee, like one beehive can hold up to 80,000 bees.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that's really incredible. And bees are animals that really aren't aggressive. If they don't perceive you as dangerous, if they don't feel that you're gonna harm them,
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna do anything to you. In fact, if
Okay.
you one of our last posts on Instagram was actually in my grandfather's house. He has some bees that often go there to drink some water, and there was a bee who just landed on my hand, and I started taking a picture of it. They're really not aggressive animals, but if people often they're allergic to it or anything, well, what you can actually do is put a box for another type of bee because there's many different species of bees. These bees
Yes.
are called angelitas, and
Yes.
they don't sting. They don't have like yes, they don't sting. So if one of your concerns is security or safety, you can also have the angelitas who do pollination too. And well, they don't have like that risk. So
Okay.
that's one thing there.
So, for instance, I have a couple acres in Colombia of land.
Mhm.
I should build one box and
And
how
try
do
it
I
out.
and try it out? But how do I remove the honey? How often do I remove the honey? How is that process?
Well, that process, well, I had to research a lot about it, and there's many different ways that you can do it. In fact, there are box nowadays that do it kind of like automatically, but the
Okay.
traditional way to do it is the boxes have like these frames inside of them, and you take them out, and you have frames with bees, you have frames with pollen, with nectar, and then you have some specific frames that have honey. They're all filled with honey. So you take those frames and you have to put it into like this, I don't know how to say it in English, it's called a centrifuga, and you
Hmm.
basically turn it around and around, and then the honey starts dripping from the frames,
Yes.
and that's how like you get the honey. Then you put the frames back in, and the bees rebuild their combs.
Now,
It's harder than what it sounds, but yes, that's basically it.
now for people that are living like in Florida or around the country, how can we be feeding our bees from home? What do we do? So if they're flying by and any tips?
Yes, for bees, you can put a little bit of water and
Okay.
of sugar in, for example, in your balcony or wherever you live, if you have a house in your garden, and they often go there and they drink some of the water, because bees are working all day long and they're visiting thousands of flowers, and they need water because they get really tired, and sometimes, well, those water sources are really scarce and they can't find them. So if like just putting a little bit of water outside your home can be a great help to them, because they can stop there and drink a little bit and then just continue with their journey.
And I don't pretend you to be a big connoisseur, but I'm sure that many of us that are watching are gonna do a lot of research when we actually finish this live. I'm thinking now that I have to build a couple boxes. I have to put it
Mm-hmm.
in one of my properties in Colombia. That sounds really good. But the reason I really want to do it is because what you just told us. We need bees. We need our planet to be sustainable, and we need to support your cause. Now, how far will a bee travel to actually to and then to come back home? Do you know that?
Well, bees can travel, if I'm not wrong, up to like 2 kilometers from their beehive, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people, what they have done is that they have like added up how many times like bees visit different flowers, and they say that to produce like um 1 liter of honey, bees have to like go around the world 2 times, like the distance
Wow.
twice,
Yes.
to pick up enough nectar and honey to produce honey. No, nectar
Wow.
and pollen to produce honey. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I tell you that I drink or no I eat coconut every night. I have a
Mm-hmm.
little piece of coconut and then I put some honey. And they sell this at Trader Joe's, and you see a chunk of wax inside of the honey. I just eat the wax. The wax tastes
Yes.
really, really, really good, and it's no harm. I just read that it won't affect actually helps
It's
your
actually
metabolism.
beneficial for you.
It i-
Exactly.
it is. So you have a lot of work to do. And what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say to the students that are watching, probably they are people from your high school and schools around the world. Think about a community service project. And Gabi, she's converted this simple community service, sorry, project into something big. And you can play as much as you go. I love how you strategize. Number one, awareness. So you told me, and here we are. We're having a life because we are creating awareness. Then the next thing that I did is to follow up your Instagram account. So your pictures are spectacular. I don't know how much time are you putting designing each picture that you put on your Instagram account on La Colmena.
Well, each picture we have to make sure that it's good quality. We have to make sure that we find an author to give the credits to, because of the situation right now, sometimes we can take pictures of them ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we spend a lot of time just looking for the right picture that will fit in with our aesthetic, with everything that we are trying to portray. So it takes a lot of time, and the content that we post every single day has to be meaningful content. So and
Yes.
that also takes a lot of work.
No, and I'm so impressed. I am one of your fans now. It comes on my Instagram now, and JCT for Education likes your pictures for La Colmena. Juan Catamayo likes your pictures for La Colmena. But as I've been working with the students for the last 25 years, and when I see a project like this, it's just it blows my mind because I'm thinking right now, universities, you're putting this on your resume. You put the link, and that's what I'm trying to tell the students. You put your link on your resume of your Instagram account. In the case of Gabi, it will be La Colmena. So university people, admissions people, they are looking at your Instagram accounts for these community service projects. So that's discipline. I've been telling our students I would love to see one picture in the next 20 weeks. So that means 20 pictures, but you're doing almost one picture per day, correct?
Yeah, it's we
Or
post daily.
okay. And then I was reading an Instagram influencer that you need to post daily and you need to post good content and you need to put good quality and the writing and the grammar it has to be impeccable. So my gosh, you're doing and you with your team of volunteers, you guys are doing a really, really good job. Now it moves into the second stage, which is helping the farmers down about this part. And I think your school and your community will support you a lot because you moved me when you told me, Juanca, we need the bees, and bees are not a threat. And now think about you changed my mind. People from my team are watching you right now on this live, and your church changing the perspective. And Gabi, by the way, this will be a fantastic college essay. This is something that either you talk about an extracurricular activity, and I call it contribution to humankind. So, but let's move to you building a website in the future for your project, correct?
Yes. In the
Okay,
future, we want to make it as big as possible and reach as many people as possible. So
okay.
that's what we're working on. As I think
Uh,
that's one of our biggest next steps.
Okay, so since you're working with farmers and you're doing helping micro farming, there is an organization and you can follow on LinkedIn, you can follow on Instagram, is Fair Trade. Fair Trade
Okay.
makes sure that farmers are getting paid better prices than the regular prices from the current market. And now, like more companies in the United States, like Target, let's say like Trader Joe's, a lot of companies are saying, I only buy products that are fair trade. Because when you're paying a fair price to the farmers, that means the farmer can send their daughters or their sons to college. They have a
Okay.
better quality of life. So look into fair trade. That would be absolutely wonderful. And you can connect with them and they might have someone in Colombia that can come to see your project. So your project is just the sky is the limit. So congratulations. Now, let's
Thank you.
move because you're always thinking ideas. You have another project coming up. Se
Yes.
llama Volver a Soñar.
Yes.
Come back to the
It,
dreams. Tell us a little bit about that project.
well, it's an educational project and it has many different ideas. The first one and the one that we've been promoting the most lately is that we're collecting donations of used toys, board games, books, and any monetary donations that you can make in order to donate to this institution in Cali called Casita Belén.
Okay.
And this institution is basically a home to many children who their rights have been violated, so they live in Casita Belén.
Okay.
And right now, what we've been doing is we've trying to collect all of these donations to take them there and well, give the kids like all of this like these toys. But more than that, like I think that the next real like big idea that we've been thinking is that with my sister, she's studying biology in Boston College. She wants to make like these creative kits, these kits that basically have the materials to do simple science experiments that these children, well, the kids that they can do in
Mm-hmm.
Casita Belén, and then we can send them a a video explaining the reasoning behind, or like the scientific reasoning behind what they've seen in the experiment. So that's what we're gonna do with the monetary donations that we're receiving. And we have
Okay.
another like couple of ideas that we've been just thinking about and thinking how are we gonna make them happen, because Volver a Soñar is really this project that talks about solidarity, and it's something that I think is gonna be a really big thing. So yeah.
Gabi, while you were saying that, I do apologize. My camera flipped a little bit, but I was like, there are so many people sending you messages here. Gabi Linda, orgullosa de ti. We have so many students and families. We have high school counselors watching. We have, I mean, you have a large community. And so Gabi will have a very busy summer. Do you
Yeah.
ever rest or you want to keep contributing?
No, I just want to do the most I can for to help out the community, to help out, because especially in these moments is when we realize how we need to take action and put a little grain of sand.
No, that's absolutely beautiful. And I have been saying here, values start at home. So it means like your parents are doing an extraordinary job at home just to put that foundation. And just I'm sure that your parents are always creating new things, new ideas. Where is your grandpa from? Is he from the Portuguese side or the Colombian side?
Well, my grandfather that has been helping me with the Colmena is actually from here, from Colombia.
Okay,
But I've also been talking a lot with my grandfather that is from Portugal, but right now he's here in Colombia. And he's been always supporting me and telling me, yes, you have to work with your bees. Like I love the project. So all of my family has been a great support.
what's his name?
The one that's here from Colombia is called Rodrigo Villegas, and
Rodrigo.
you can actually look for him on Instagram because he has like this taller of carpinteria. So,
Okay,
and he posts every day like things about his boxes and all of the things he's building. It's called Cuchitril. You can go look. He's really cute.
okay.
And my grandfather from Portugal, his name is Olindo. Yes.
Olindo. And he lives in Colombia or he lives in Portugal?
He lives partially like a part of the year in Portugal and another part of the year in Colombia. But right
Okay.
now he's been staying more in Colombia because of all of the crisis.
Yes, you have students and people watching you from Zimbabwe, Venezuela, from
Wow,
Colombia, from Chile, from Argentina, from the US, from England, from Switzerland. You have people from all over the world watching you,
that's
and
incredible.
this is incredible. And remember, this video will be housed here on IGTV. We're gonna be posting our video on JCT for Education for you on YouTube. And would you like to say something before we say hasta pronto?
Well, thank you everyone for joining and for listening to me, and make sure to check out La Colmena.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we're gonna post something about La Colmena on our Instagram account on JCT for Education. I wanna come back, but next time we do a live, it will be from La Finca in Palmira. Whenever you tell me and say, Juanca, we build
definitely.
the box, because myself, I really wanna build a box also, and I wanna put it somewhere that is safe. I wanna follow your grandpa and say, hey, we built a good box, and I wanna help the environment. We need those bees, and we need
We
to
need them.
continue, and we need to carry on as a human civilization. So, Gabi, I can't wait to see what's in the store for you in terms of college and universities. I know you're working on your list, you're working on your community service, but you look so genuine, and you're doing such an amazing job that you're with this conversation, you will be inspiring a lot of people. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you and your family soon. Hasta luego.
Okay,
Obrigado.
bye.
Ciao. Bye bye.